So I was recently commissioned to make a couple of sets of coasters. And looking at the stuff in the workshop, I've got a number of really nice different hardwoods to choose from. Looking at the various hardwoods we have here, I've got some really great color contrasting pieces. So I've got a piece of alder, a piece of maple, a piece of hickory, and a piece of Philippine mahogany. And as you can see, these all contrast with each other really, really nicely. But I thought to add in some more color variation, we could use this larger piece of Peruvian walnut that I have, as well as this piece of Paduke. I really like Paduke. It's got a really bright red color to it, so this will add some really nice character to these coasters. So what we're going to do next is cut a lot of this down on the table saw to about a 1/2 inch thickness, and then we're going to glue them up in long strips, about 4 inches wide, as the coasters are going to be 4 inches by 4 inches. This is actually going to be a really great opportunity for me to test out a new table saw blade I've purchased. So I recently picked up this CMT general purpose blade. Now, the blade in my table saw is the blade that it shipped with, and I'd like to try a new blade in here that's designed for both cross cuts and rip cuts. And I've heard really good things about CMT blades. So let's get this out of the package and into the table saw.
Milling down these strips on the table saw worked out really well with this new blade. It cut through all the hardwoods with no difficulties.
Right here I'm planing one of the faces of the board with my electric hand planer. This board was only surfaced on 2 sides, so to cut it on the table saw I needed a smooth face for the fence, and the electric planer did a great job doing this.
For the Paduke, I'm also using the electric hand planer, as this board was only surfaced 2 sides. Surfacing this edge with the electric hand planer allows for it to smoothly cut on the fence for the table saw.
We're back in the workshop. We've got all of our pieces from the table saw cut out into the patterns we want. So our next step here is the glue and the clamps.
Taking off the excess glue helps prepare the piece for sanding.
All right, we've got everything out of the clamps and dried. And so our next step here is we're going to cut off the excess, and then we are going to start sanding these down.
I'm using the electric hand planer again, as this provides a smooth and level surface for sanding. For sanding, we're going to start with some 80 grit and then work our way up to 120 and then finally 180. Next, we're going to use the router with a roundover bit, and we'll round over two sides. We'll use the router again to finish roundover once we've got the coasters cut down to their final size. I've got a stop block set up on the miter saw here. This will allow us to cut down each of these to their final size. With the coasters now cut down to their final size, we can use the router again to apply the roundover to the remaining sides. The last thing we're going to do here is sand the coasters with 180 grit for a final sanding.
All right, we've got everything brought inside and set out. So next thing we're going to do is apply some polyurethane. Polyurethane is all dry on our coasters, and we are ready for the final step, which is just to apply some little felt bumper feet for the bottoms. That concludes our video on these coasters. This was a really fun project to build, and they all turned out really, really well. If you like this video, click like and subscribe for more videos. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you.